Zombie apocalypse.
Now then, it's Benny Buffon here again, and we're back again with another roster video where we have a look at some starting lineups and give you some help on how to skill the players up and various other stuff. And we're getting close now. There's only, I think, another 3 videos to do after this on the rosters. We've got a Nurgle, Norse, and Undead to do. But today, if you've been looking and waiting for the Dark Elf roster, it is a good day for you, because that is what we're going to do today. We're going to have a look at a few Dark Elf rosters, and then we're going to have a look at the how to skill them up. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So the first one, and again, this is quite a standard build with Dark Elves. When it decides to load up, there we go. This one gives you, I mean, the thing with Dark Elves is, I always try and get 3 rerolls. There's a few teams where it's, well, for the balance of the team, it's almost impossible to get 3 rerolls. Wood Elves being one of them, and Dark Elves another. But in this build, the bad news is you only have 2 rerolls. The good news is you get all 4 blitzers. You get yourself a runner down here with dump off, so if he gets hit, it can get rid of the ball, and you've got 6 linemen. The good thing with this team is 10 of the 11 people, or 11 elves, have got armor 8. So, you know, not too shabby for an elf. It has the balance as best as it goes. You know, you get a bit of, you know, you get a bit of everything. You can then add, you know, you can add witch elves at a later date if you wish. But I think this is a sort of build you see a lot, to be fair. The second roster is the one where we get to see some witch elves in it. Now this one only has 1 team reroll. Yep, 1, so not great. But you get your 2 witch elves, and you get 3 blitzers, and you know, that gives some of your, you get 5 good positionals there. It all depends if you want the witch elves or not. Because if you're not bothered about the witch elves, then go with roster 1, because it's a better balanced, and you get 2 rerolls. I mean, the only good thing is obviously rerolls only being 50k. It only costs you 100k per reroll after you start playing the game, so they're not as bad as say 140k and stuff like that. But if you desperately want a frenzy threat and you get your witch elves early, get them leveled up early while you're going against new teams, then obviously this is a nice build for that. The only concern is, like I said, is only having 1 reroll. That is, you know, really really bad. And then when you start getting your cash, what do you do first? Usually you'd go for an apothecary, but you're thinking, you know what, I might have to forgo that and get a team reroll. But the problem is, with your witch elves on the armor 7 and no block yet, they could get injured. You could get -1 movement, -1 armor, and then you obviously got to find another witch elf or start again. So this is a very high risk reward sort of roster, but it's one if you definitely want the 2 witch elves. Now here's another one where we actually have 3 rerolls. Yes, a Dark Elf team with 3 rerolls, and you get your 2 witch elves. What's the catch? Well, it's a big major catch. The problem is you don't get any blitzers. That's the problem. So, you know, if you wanted to go with a team with no blitzers, and I don't know anybody who really would want to, here is how you do it. It is it's interesting. I mean, like I say, you get. I mean, I suppose the thing with Dark Elves is, because I mean the stat line's 6-3-4-8, so it's a pretty good stat line. They can throw the ball all over the place, you know, dump it off on a 2+, you know, catch it on a 2+, dodge away on a 2+, you know, and you've got a couple of frenzy options there to surf and stuff. So, you know, this could be quite a competitive, you know, quite a competitive build if you get the right sort of opponent and you get some good dice early. But I tell you what, it's a massive thing. And then don't forget, you know, you're gonna have to. It's gonna take a long time to buy your 4 blitzers. It really is. So there's just 3 really Dark Elf rosters. I mean, it's quite clear to me that the roster you should go with is the first roster. I just think this is the best value for money one, because you got your 2 team rerolls, you got your 4 blitzers, you know, and you got your dump off guy. So the guy can catch it at the back. He's got the ball, try and score your run, and if he gets hit, as long as he's got an outlet, he can get rid of the ball, and hopefully you'll keep hold of it. So to me, this is definitely the best of the rosters, in my opinion. So you've had a look at which roster you want. You've bought your roster. How would you skill them up? Well, we're going to have a look. And probably the best thing to do is start off with the blitzers. So we're going to have a look at like a defensive blitzer. But again, because of how good they are with movement 7 and agility 4, they're more at home doing either. Start off with block, dodge, and sidestep. So obviously protects them the best they can. Sidestep protects them from getting surfed. It also can put them next to a corner of the cage, and then if they don't knock you down, you can mark the ball carrier up. And then you've got two beautiful skills after that: diving tackle and tackle. Diving tackle mans 2 to dodge away from this guy. So they could try and hit you away, but obviously if they don't power you down, guess what? You're going to sidestep right next to him. Diving tackle -2. Tackle, if he's a blodger, like a lot of runners are, or ball handlers should say, that negates his blodge, so you'd have to use a reroll if he fails it. You could build 4 Dark Elves like this, all on standard rolls, and they'd all be a pain in the backside. Really are. Because like I said, with elf teams, they're not really there for the bash. They're there to get rid of the ball and position and go well in defense. A lot of professional gamers of Blood Bowl say the best defensive team is Dark Elves because they've got, you know, the option to all these nice skills, and they're not slow either. And most of them are quite well armored at armor 8. So people will agree and disagree. I think it's safe to say Dark Elves is one of those teams, well, I would say easily top 5, top 6 best defense teams in the game. And these are the reasons why when you see builds like this. I mean, a skill after this, what if you've seen a lot of my videos, what I'd like to take would be pass block. Because people are like, oh, pass block, what a waste of a skill. But not later on it in, because let me just put that there. So you've got all these skills. I don't know, you're marking up. He's got 2 scoring threats. And you've got 1 guy down here. You know, what are you gonna do? You can't mark them both. So if he's badly positioned them and he's got them both within 3 squares of each other, you mark one of them up. The guy throws the ball. You're dodging away from the other guy on a 2+ with a built-in reroll, and try and get in front of the front of the thrower. You know, where the ball's coming through, to try and intercept it. Failing that, even if you tag where the ball's going to, it's a -1 for the guy to catch it. And then he's going to have to dodge away from you on a -2. So having these guys are really, really good. And the thing is, you can even use these on linemen and all others. This is why this is such a great build. You get 4 or 5 of these bad boys, whether it's blitzers, witch elves, linemen. You're gonna be making your opponent tear his hair out. The next build, you have to have one of these. Have to, in my opinion. It's a guy who just leaps into the cage and says, I want that ball. With all elves, you've got to get the ball loose. Simple as that, because you're not going to win the bash game against a lot of physical teams, especially with competent coaches. Maybe against newer coaches, but against competent coaches, you're going to struggle. This guy leaps into a cage on a 3+, and look at that. Strip ball, tackle, and yes, I would go wrestle later on, because, you know, why not? His sole purpose is to get the ball loose. That's his job. That's all it is. So, you know, wrestle definitely would be something I'd look into. Other skills after this, dodge obviously to keep him a lot safer from getting splattered. That's always a very good skill, and probably would be the next thing I would look at. Sidestep. So if you get into the cage and don't knock him down, then you can ping pong about and try and hold him there. Diving tackle, because obviously he's going to have to dodge away on the 2+. So with a -2 if he doesn't get free from you. You know, there's various things. With these blitzers, I mean, agility is fantastic. Agility 5 means you're just leaping on a 2+. And strength would be gorgeous. Strength 4 blitzer, leaping in, 2 dice. Fantastic. Movement. Yeah, movement's not bad on blitzers, and armor I'd take later on, to be honest. But this is a nice build, and I think really you need at least one of these. Definitely. Just to give the guy the threat. Like, you know, you can go to the cage anytime you want. This build requires 2 double ups, but I did in my champion ladder team last season had roll 2 doubles on one of my blitzers. So this is how you do it. If you get mighty blow piling on, and then the rest of them are just normal rolls. Obviously, tackle's really good. Frenzy, dauntless means you can go hunting for those big nasty black orc or croxigores and stuff like that. And jump up means if someone knocks you down and follows up, you can get up on a 2+ and hit him back. So you need a bit of luck to get these guys. And like I said, I had one and he was alright. But the problem I found out was because I only had one of these guys, they just tried to crush him every time, my opponent. And obviously, when you're trying to hit with them, sometimes you're not going to get him back to safety. And he did all right. He did all right, and I'm glad I had him. But I wouldn't go overboard with Dark Elves with Mighty Blow and stuff, because I still think guard is a lot more important. And finally, this is more of a ball carrying role. If you don't like the runner, you just don't like AV7, you want to be AV8 all the way around. Then this is sort of build. Again, I'd still say start the same as the rest of them. Obviously, you got block already, dodge, sidestep. Then I'd go show hands, what saves me from my strip ball as well. And then show feet and sprint are very nice. Gives me a potential of moving 10 with a built-in reroll. And that is fantastic. And again, on any of the blitzers, you know, if you get the chance of rolling double for guard, it's always a good option to take, because elves with guard are fantastic, basically. But that's how, like, a runner. I mean, you could even go leap after that. So if someone's like got the column defense or something like that, you can leap over, and then you probably only need to do one dodge or so, and one or two easier dodges. That's just another option. But again, a strength or agility on this guy would be amazing. But again, I mean, runners are better suited for running the ball, because that's what they are. You really want your blitzers there covering, getting stuck in, or make himself as a scoring threat. But if you want to run it, that's how to go. And obviously, you definitely take movement if you get it. Right then, your witch elves. This is very similar build to the cage breaking Dark Elf Blitzer. You've got frenzy already. You've got dodge. You've got jump up. Because you haven't got block already, you go straight for wrestle. And then it's totally up to however you want to go. You can go strip ball, you can go leap, you can go tackle, whichever way you want to go. A lot of people just go leap next because they just want to get into the cage and try and get the ball loose. The only thing I would say is be careful with these guys, because if they fail the leap and they're on the floor, there's a very good chance they'll get stamped on. You are only armor 7, remember, and you're only strength 3, so you've got to just be a bit careful with these guys, because they are like some would say your best player. So you've got to be careful. They do make effective cage breakers. I mean, you could even have this guy right at the back, like as a safety. Oh, this gal at the back, if you want to be politically correct. If something gets through, they're on it like a rash. It's up to you. I mean, this is a build I like with witch elves. Again, movement is fantastic for a witch elf. And if I got movement, or I would be looking into maybe building it more as a better one-tearing scoring threat, or going that way. Strength is gorgeous on a witch elf. Agility is just amazing. Agility on this piece would be fantastic. 2+. Even on a red dart block, you'd be tempted to get the ball loose. And again, it's another way of building a piece to get the ball loose, so your rest of your team can get the ball. And that's the strength. That is your main goal, is to get the ball loose. This one is more of a... I mean, there's a few ways you can build witch elves. Obviously, I've only got 2 to show you. This is another one where I see a lot of people like taking Juggernaut and use this witch elf for surfing. So you've got dodge already, you've got jump up, you've got frenzy. Best thing to take is block to start off with. If you roll a double, then obviously Juggernaut is where you go. And leap's always quite useful, because sometimes people screen off players and they think they're safe. This girl jumps in and saves him off the pitch. Other things after that to look at as well would be sidestep, so you don't get counter-surfed yourself. What would be, obviously, is in your best interest. And again, agility, strength, movement, any of them I'd take. I'd take armor late on. I wouldn't take it early. Assassins. Now, I've only got one assassin to show you. I'm not a fan of assassins. I think they're really expensive. I think if you're taking them, you're only really taking them for fluff purposes. I tried it with my Dark Elves last season, and they were just useless. I mean, I've never seen any Dark Elf assassin in the Champion Ladder get anywhere near all these skills. So this is a bit of a dream, but this is the way you can build them. So if you roll a double, then multiple block is fantastic, because it means you can stab 2 players. Fantastic, really good. Dodge and sidestep. Well, dodge obviously helps them get to where they need to, and also it gives them a bit of protection. Sidestep basically is there, so if they don't knock you down, you can park yourself next to them and stab them again next turn. Block obviously would help with dodge to make him as a blodge piece. And then you've got various other things. If you get really this far, I would be impressed. But if you're still looking for skills, diving tackle's good for works with shadowing, and it basically becomes a pain in the backside. And then there's tackle, but I can't see getting this far. I really can't. I think you basically go with I'm going to try and stab as many people as possible if I roll double and get multiple block, or look to try and make him into a useful piece. Because like I said, dodge, block, and sidestep is very useful because it can still throw blocks. Because obviously when you stab, you don't get XP for it. That's the major problem. If you got stab for XP, hey, it'd be great. But you don't. And putting an assassin next to another piece and then failing your stab means that they're well open to getting hit back, and they're on the armor 7. And I don't know. I just don't like these pieces. I like the look at them, and I like a lot about them. But I don't know. I mean, the only other option you could do, and I've seen it, and it is a bit of a desperate play in my opinion. You can give them leap, and you can leap into a cage and try and stab the ball carrier. So against things like skinks and stuff like that, that could be quite useful. So maybe, if you get an assassin, you think, you know what, I might just, get him leap, and then just keep leaping and try and stab him. But again, even with AV7, a lot of times it just fails anyway. So, like I said, very situational. This is the sort of skills I want. But if you want just a low-level assassin who can give you an option of maybe trying to get the ball loose, then maybe leap, stabbing assassin would be the way to go. And finally, the runners. The good old runners. So, this is a passing build. So, obviously, you use this guy for offensive drives only. He already has dump off. I would be looking at giving him pass straight off, because obviously if someone hits you, then you've got 2 chances of dumping off successfully. Nerves of Steel next, because that means you're dumping the ball off on a 2+, what's always useful. And then obviously, then you've got your other things like you've got Accurate, what's a +1 to the pass attempt. Strong Arm on a double, +1 to passes to short, long, and bomb range. Safe Throws, another good skill, as is Sure Feet, because obviously, just for them extra little squares with a built-in reroll. You can jig about with most of these skills. You could go Accurate or Strong Arm before Nerves of Steel, especially if you roll double. I mean, if I roll double first skill, I'd get Strong Arm and then get Pass. But there you go. It's up to you. I mean, all these are good skills to take early doors. I'd probably wait for Safe Throw till later on, because obviously your strength is still in running the ball, and obviously dump off is still one of the ways you want to go. Hence why I put Nerves of Steel up there. But yeah. Movement on these guys is very good. I'd definitely take that. And the problem is, if I ever got movement early, I'd be tempted to try and give him, into a more of a running build than a throwing build. Try and get him, as a chance of a one-turner. But then again, I suppose you've got other people who can do that also. Talking about sidestep and all this sort of stuff, here's the more of the running build. So you go block, you go dodge, so it's blodge. Then probably go sidestep. And then I'd look into Sure Feet, Sprint, and Nerves of Steel. So basically, it's potential movement 10 with a built-in reroll. If someone hits him, you've got Nerves of Steel in there, so it's a 2+ dump off. And, it's a no-frills build. Obviously, if you start getting stat ups, then you can change these builds. These are just builds if they don't get stat ups. And like I said, runners are really funny. I mean, runners can die horribly quick. You're obviously trying to protect them. I know sometimes people say, oh, I ain't really bothered. I've got Nerves of Steel, I've got dump off. If they hit me, I'll just pass it along. So, but you're still trying to protect the best you can, because like I said, they can break. And if you get a nice few skills on this, and obviously he's getting hit all the time, it's only going to be about time before he ends up getting busted, and you're going to have to get yourself a new one. But I think runners are important pieces in the Dark Elf roster. It obviously gives you passing, it gives you the passing, so you can even go leader. Because obviously, save yourself buying a reroll, go leader. I've seen that on a few Dark Elves teams as well. But it's up to you what you want to go with on that. And now finally we go to the lineman. Obviously, your first guy you really want is to get kick, and I'd give him block just give him a bit of hitting power instead of dodge. I mean, a lot of times with Dark Elves linemen, I always recommend going dodge first, mainly because it means they can maneuver more safely around the pitch on a 2+ with a built-in reroll if they haven't got a tackle, obviously. And if you're against killer pieces, you don't want to be fighting them. You want to disengage from them, so that's good as well. Because you're trying to really make sure your opponent maybe gets 1 hit turn, 2 at most, to keep you guys safe. So you know, but for your kick out, block and kick or block, I should say. This is what I put on the line of scrimmage. 3 of these bad boys: wrestle, dodge, and then fend. Obviously, wrestle brings the opponent down, what's good, and then dodge for the extra survivability and maneuverability, and then fend. You could go dodge before wrestle if you want to. It's up to you. But they're the 3 skills I would definitely look for line of scrimmage guy. If by some miracle they're still alive after all that, tackle's a key good piece, because tackle rest ball is tackle and wrestle is a very good combination. Try and get the ball loose on people or get them down. But yeah, that's basically how I'd build my line of scrimmage. Elves. This guy again, we haven't really talked much about guard, so I'll talk about it now. Doubles on any piece, if you can get guard, is useful, because if you can, like, because obviously it's like guerrilla warfare with elves. You're trying to maneuver your team to where you want to fight on your terms, and guard will help on that, because you can stick, especially on the lineman or line elf, I should say. You can stick him in there. It doesn't matter if he gets hit back. You stick him in there, and it really helps your blitzers, your witch elves, and stuff like that. Especially for surfing purposes as well. If you can get a guy like that down there. Again, obviously line elves. Again, I'll be going for the blodge route. Probably dodge before block. Sidestep's a useful one as well. And if you're still alive, then again, when I was talking before, diving tackle and tackle, really good, special defense. They're a pain in the backside. And finally, the cage breaking build on the line elf. Again, the problem is it's just taking time, isn't it, to get them how you want them. But even a wrestle leap line elf is fantastic, because what you got to lose is only a line elf. And people might think, you know what, this is a better build, and I'd rather risk a line elf going into a cage than a witch elf or one of my blitzers. So if you've got that thinking, 2 skills gives you a chance of a cage breaker, wrestle and leap. Then it's up to you, strip ball, tackle, whichever you want. And again, these are fantastic, really are. But that's basically it with Dark Elves. When I was looking to do this roster, I was like, well, the way you build them quite similar. They're more effective with similar builds to one another. That's how they work. Where we was talking about the Chaos team yesterday, and there's so many different ways you can build them to do different things. With Dark Elves, it's just one simple thing: get the ball loose. So you and maneuver and be pain in the backside, and like mark up the ball carriers, or again diving tackle pieces there. Pass block on a piece is beautiful as well. Like I said, this build with pass block later on is fantastic. It is amazing. You've got to make sure you got your dodge, sidestep, diving tackle at least before you go on to pass block. But I tell you what, people sucker for this all the time. They really do. A lot of people, it just doesn't compute with them, and then it's like, oh crap, where did this guy come from? Either you're going to incept it, or it's going to be like, I've got a diving tackle piece on me. What do I do? And that can shut down a play, and then all of a sudden he's in your half. He's in your half, and he's stranded with a diving tackle piece, blood sidestepping next to him, and then it's a big risk. And there's a good chance they might have used a reroll to throw the ball or catch the ball as well. So that is one of my favourite builds. So there you go. So that's it. That's the Dark Elves done. Hope you enjoyed the video. I mean, I don't know how long this video has took, but I presume it's one of my quicker videos. They're quite straightforward to build up, really, in my opinion. That's basically it. Like I said, we've got three videos to go now. We've got the Nagel to do. We've got the Norse. That'll be fun. So and then we've got the Undead as well. So I'll be trying to get them done. I think probably I'll be doing Nagel next, because a few people have been asking for the Nagel video. So that will probably be the next one. If it's not, will it be done today? Maybe done today. If not today, it'll probably be done Friday, I think. So there you go. But like I say, if you press the subscribe button, it'll tell you when the video's done. And like I said, if you're new to this channel, there's going to be plenty of content. We've got the Nuffle Shuffle, what's a PS4 talk show about the Champions ladder, the official sign-out ladder on the PS4. So we do a weekly show, obviously each week, and we have special guests on board. We had the champion Game League Swede who was absolutely rocking it in in this season's as well. He's such a great player, and we had a lot of fun on the first episode. We also have Blood on the Box, and that basically is the Xbox version of it, and I had the very fantastic Scottish superstar Cell Commander on with me. So he was fantastic. So we had a lot of fun on that one. So they're both on my YouTube channel. And there's going to be various other things as well. Like I said, there's going to be playoff games on there, my own games on there. I've even got the Blood and Tears Private League. Their games are on there. All the rosters are on there. So after this one goes on, there's going to be 21 rosters on there. We've got all the Legendary Edition rosters on there. There's tons of stuff on there. And like I said, you know, it doesn't cost you now to subscribe. Get your subscribe on there, and then obviously you'll be kept up to date with all the content in my channel. And there you go. So there we go. It's all done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Stay classy, have fun on the Blood Bowl pitch, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Remembering myself.